Welcome to the Sparky Coach podcast. This platform was built by Sparkies for Sparkies. We simply exist to make business owners more profitable, or businesses more profitable and more predictable. So we want to work with people that work hard because we love working hard too, that work smart because you got to be on top of the business, people that are kind because no one likes a dickhead. Am I right? People who want results because that's what we're here for, right? And people who want to be part of a like-minded community. So if you're interested in hearing more about the platform, please reach out and enjoy the podcast. Sparky Coach, Lounge Room Pod, Crowy here with Heath Knight from Hspark. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Very good, very good. I'm just cracking one of Byron Bay's finest.
Oh, I should have grabbed some.
What is the hazy pale ale? And we're here with one of Picton's finest. Is that where you grew up?
Nah, I grew up in this is Campbelltown, like younger Campbelltown, and then moved out to Narellan, like Camden. And then once I met my now wife, moved out to Appin, and now we're living out at Picton.
How did you meet your now wife?
Oh, what a story. I was just out on a uh, where were we? We're out in Camden. You don't know Camden much, do you?
No,
No, I
that's
wouldn't
where
know them.
Wilman's from, right? Camden.
Yeah. So there's a place called Bar Ends, and I went out there with one of the boys, just for a quiet night, as it always is actually, as for a quiet night. It was a friend of mine's, his little sister's birthday, so I just went out, and then somehow I met her, and then the rest is, yeah, actually, she stalked me, come to think of it. I was getting the drink, and she come up to me and stood next to me. So I'll always say that she's the one that came up to me. But yeah. Then she said I should come out to another place with her. I said I've got to work tomorrow, and then next minute I've had 1 hour sleep and I'm at work, and I did
That's what happens. We'll
did meet her.
keep the details to a minimum. I like that.
Yes, yeah.
Exciting. That's so good. And you've been together. When was that?
Uh-oh. I've got it tattooed on my hip, so I never forget. 12th of the 10th, 20. Oh no, 2018?
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah. So 7, and you got a little girl, right?
Yeah, little girl, Airlie. Yeah,
Airlie. Amazing.
like Airlie Beach,
So
because
good.
that's our favorite spot, favorite place in, I guess, all the world at the moment. And then we found out when we were on a road trip in Airlie Beach.
Oh,
So I
cool.
said,
Yeah.
yeah, she said she'd come out, and she showed me and found out, and I said, oh, it's a little girl. We're going to call her Airlie. She said, no way, we're not calling her after a beach. I said, yes, we are. And then next minute we found out it was a girl, and she said, "No, when it's not Airlie, it's not Airlie." I said, "It's Airlie. Like, don't stress, it is." And then she had all these other names, and I reckon it would have been two, or maybe a month before or 2 months before she came. She goes, "All right, it's Airlie." I was like, "Yeah, I knew it was. It was always Airlie."
It's the business owner confidence coming into play there. But now, and
Yeah.
tell us, what year did you start HSpark in?
Oh, well, I think it would have been about 20. It was COVID. So what's that? 2020?
Yeah, 2020. I think it was the
Yeah, it
start,
was.
like March, April 2020, I think.
Yeah, so I think COVID baked its way into our lives, and then we everyone got let go of the job we were on, and then I had some money put away. I always wanted to do my own business anyway, but I had some money put away, and it was either actually go to Campbelltown Hospital job, or start my own business. And everyone said, "You're mad, don't start your own business in what we're going through." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that."
Yeah, it strike me as, I mean, I like it because I feel like the people that start businesses, a lot of them were going to start it anyway. And
Yes.
whatever circumstance, it's kind of like you get a window in, which in your case, unfortunately, job loss, you're like, okay, that's my chance. And I
Mm.
think you got to back that. Was that a gut feeling or was that just a,
Like I said, like I was always keen to do my own business. And then when I was in the tunnel, like essentially I was just waiting to lose my job. Like I was a good worker, and never somehow I became the health and safety rep at the tunnel because I had a big mouth. But yeah, I just like I liked my job, and I just was like, oh, I'm just waiting to lose my job. Like I couldn't wait. Like I was like, oh, when's it going to end? Because obviously it comes to the end of the project and you're like, okay, they got 300 people. They go, okay, see you later to 200, whatever. I knew that was the game. So yeah, when the boss come in with all the notes, like the letters, I was so excited. I was like, all right, here we go. Let's go.
Did you,
So
yeah, did you call it
yeah.
redundancy or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was stoked. Like I'd never worked on a job like that, like with, getting paid that much money, but working with like that many amount of sooks, to be honest. So when like honestly, you get paid so stupid, and people are worried about the guy up the road getting $3 more an hour. But
What
yeah, no,
what do you like? If you don't mind me asking, what do you
mm,
earn in the tunnels and that kind of stuff?
oh, the money's terrible. Nah, it's great. It's probably I think our deal was like I started as a general spike like 160. Like 160, like straight off the bat. But it's 10-hour days. It's an 8-hour Saturday, which is your early day. It's probably like, it's a lot of money in the hand. But like, I think if I'd done a Saturday, we'd clear maybe like 3,200. Um, yeah.
I always like asking because I think as a business owner, you should know what your market value is elsewhere, and your market
Mm,
value might not be in the mines. It's like earning 200
mm,
grand. It might be like standard residential around your area because you got kids or family, whatever. But it's good to know what you could be or what you could earn $3 down. It might be 120 grand plus super. It might be
mm,
200 grand plus super. Don't forget that's plus super plus a van normally plus it's 44 weeks a year, not 52. So it's incredibly important to know your replacement value. And at Sparky Coach, just if you're listening in, we preach you should get your market wage and a business net
mm.
profit of 20%. That's a very holistic, like, can you achieve more than that? Yeah, of course. But you don't really want to achieve less than that. Otherwise, literally go back on wages. And I think the more people that have that do or die, not say get rich or die trying, but make the business profitable or
Yeah,
die trying. The more people that have that attitude, the kind of easier it's going to be for everyone to quote better, everyone to earn better money, because
yeah,
it's the people misquoting what everyone we're getting coming unstuck. And I don't think it's
yeah,
necessarily we'll get in, I want to get into that, but
yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily malicious. I think it's a
No,
lack of education. But back to the tunnels. Oh, this is a funny story. So one of my good childhood friends who shall remain nameless. Anyone that
always.
grew up with me like will know. Okay, so he took a job in the mines or something. So I don't know how old we were, 25. He's earning 300 grand a year, right? And in the mines, like doing serious hours, but
Mm,
that's serious money. And he said they had a standoff with the supervisor. So they didn't like the supervisor, what you said before about he was getting paid $3 an hour more or X amount more or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
And they had a standoff with him. And he said he did they were doing metal conduit. He said he put like one elbow on in this 12-hour shift, this 12-hour night shift, because they had a standoff. So there's a four of them and they did next to nothing work for 12 hours to prove a point to this guy they didn't like. And that just like from my end, that just does my head in.
Yeah,
I wouldn't survive in that realm of, politicalness and fighting. And I like to work hard. So yeah,
yeah.
did you find that the work ethic's obviously different?
Yeah, that's like I say to everyone, and like it's just my stance on it. Like I remember I started my business and I was maybe 12 months in. I got a call from a mate and he goes, "Oh, do you want to come on and be like a foreman?" It's like 190 or 220. I said, I'd rather just go put a PowerPoint in the wall because you're right. It's like so political in there. And not only that, like you've got to walk around fully like, PPE. Like it's all fire rated stuff, hard hat, glasses, mask. If you like take your mask off for a second to talk to, I don't know, a friend, they can just march you. Like, oh no, get out, you got your mask off. And like it's really like by the time you do the work, like you say you start at 6 a.m., you drive down into the tunnel, get to your crib, you have whatever your meetings. By the time you get to your cross tunnel, it's 7:30 or like 8 o'clock, which I know is probably out people going, oh, that's a good dream job. It's so boring. Then you get to like, let's say you're just doing temp lights. Like there was a stage where I'd done temp lights for a month, and all I'd done was just like cable, drill a hole, put a green plug in, twist the thing on, hang a cable, all the way for like kilometers and kilometers and kilometers. So like you earn so much money, but it's so mindless and you do not have to work hard. It's like the worst job. Like I would never go back there unless the only reason I go back there is something happened in my business and I like had to pull myself out of a hole. That's the only reason. Other than that, I just don't find it sustainable.
It'd be hard. I mean, it'd be hard for a family, working away. But like if you can earn good money, and I think if your partner's on the same page, there's multiple
Yeah.
ways to skin the cat. And I think whatever you're doing, have a plan in place. But okay, so Hspark is born during COVID, and
Mm.
tell us a bit about what life looks like for you now in Hspark. Like, what's the crew size? What kind of jobs you're on?
Um,
Just give us a
yeah.
rundown.
So we do anything, like we do like a single PowerPoint to obviously like a commercial project. I think most people understand kind of what we do. Um, we got, so there's five of us, like essentially five like Sparkies, three tradesmen, including myself, two apprentices, and then we got Simone, admin, then my partner does all the marketing, posts all the stories and whatnot, makes the reels and stuff. Um, so yeah, that's really like where we're trying to. Did you just see my ad I put out? I just put it out.
I didn't watch it. What did you say? I mean, give a shout out because obviously you're based in Picton. You do sort of work, I guess, Sydney,
Yeah.
Sydney and South. You would
Yeah,
say.
so we're based in Picton, but we work like from essentially the middle of Sydney, like we're in Rosebery today, work all the way down to Canberra, just for like certain clients. And we're trying to get a third, like an experienced weapon third year or fourth year,
Or
or a
tradie, or
tradesman.
tradie, or tradie.
Yeah, or a tradesman. Yeah. So obviously we really want a tradesman, but tradesmen are just like, I don't know where they are. They've all gone missing. And there's lots of apprentices out there. So if they're a weapon, apply and we can have a chat.
So
But
good.
yeah,
I want to highlight to anyone in business right now. I really think electrically you're in the golden age.
yeah,
It's there's not enough tradies. You've only got to open Instagram, and we've got like mainly our following is Instagram, and I only really follow Sparkies. But it's just we are hiring, we are hiring, we are hiring, and you've got to either be either hiring or creating. And if you open your eyes, you go, okay, sweet. We're in a bit of a trade shortage, and whenever sort of demand exceeds supply, there should be a price rise. It's
mm,
essentially like if more people, and you can talk about that in two ways. You might have to start paying more for the tradies than you used to, and you might have to start charging than you used to because there's a really good opportunity to no one's saying take the piss, but there's a really good opportunity to make a lot of money in the next 5 to 10 years, and I think you should be capitalizing on that. What are the hiring indicators for you? So because obviously being in business 5 years,
anything.
but like
Yeah,
what
everything's a big
yeah, I
indicator.
mean that's the probably word of our week this week, isn't it? Hiring indicator, but like
Yeah.
but what are they for you? Like how do you know that you need a third or fourth year or a tradie? Like what are the warning signs? Because I think it's so easy to just exist and try and work harder, like work out of it, and it's kind of
Yeah.
impossible. So what are you sort of what factors are you looking at and stuff like that?
Well, obviously, like coming into your program, I've learned a lot. Like not just obviously trying to push you, but yeah, learn a lot with you guys. And yeah, I think in the past, the hiring, like yeah, my hiring thing was always like, oh, I'm gonna hire, then I'll get the work. I'll never like have the work then hire because I feel like I might hire the wrong person, which seemed to work okay until it didn't. Um, and then now like the indicators, obviously, like we're just like me and Nick, like Nick being the operations manager, he's like, we're just redlining. Like we're just, it's almost like, yeah, so we're just always going to be here, there, here, there. We're still keeping product good and we're still like organized, but we just know. We're like, oh, we got to get to this job. Oh, hold on, we're doing that job. And then it's just things like that. Like, and because we do have like projects and then we also do like service and then, your smaller projects, like we do like your service, change a button or, fix a light to a $5,000 resi job or a $10,000 shed up to like $100,000 commercial or $150,000 commercial. So because we have such a like broad range, it's yeah, we definitely need people where we can just kind of sit them on a project for unforeseeable time to like let it tick over and be our eyes on the ground while we can still get more work and also have that service team that can cruise around and do this and that for mums and dads. So yeah, it's like at the moment we're just spread across everywhere, which we're just yeah trying to hire. And I think I wanted to add that I also don't think there's definitely a lack of tradies, but there's a lack of people who actually want to work hard for their money. I've always said I don't care about what you want to get paid. Tell me what you offer for that money, and then we can go from there. Like people want to get paid the highest amount for the lowest amount of work. Like that's human nature, right? So, and I feel like lots of people are starting their business now because they see like, don't say me, but they say a me or a someone else, and they're like, oh, it's so like they have do so many cool things and they have so much money. I'm gonna start my business, and then obviously like that's where you guys will come into like, they don't know the numbers. They're just got that. They, oh, yeah, $80 an hour. That's mad. I'll do that. And then which that undercuts us, and they deliver a crap job, but then we never really get that in. That happens like everywhere. That's what I've noticed. Like lots of people are, oh yeah, I'm going to start my own electrical business. I'm like, oh, okay, like cool. But yeah, it's hard. Like everyone goes trade, and then from straight trade electrical business. Like that's how I feel anyway.
That's what I and
Yeah, that's what I did.
yeah, I mean, I did a year off and went to Bible college, which was like that's just what I wanted to do at that point in my
Yeah.
life, and that was amazing for like leadership and skills and stuff. But looking back, I was really young starting a business, 23 or something like that,
Wow. Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
you don't realize you're young when you're 23, but now
Yeah,
as
you
I'm
think right.
older, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh wow, that was a big call. But I think when it's on your heart and you've got that
Mm,
opportunity, whether it's a builder or commercial client or school, or you get that one chip and you kind of got to take your move. It's kind of everyone, in my opinion, is dealt a set of cards, like
yeah.
hand, and it's like, well, what are you dealt? And then what you dealt determines how you play it, right? And what someone else has
Mm,
dealt even at that point. So yeah, that's really interesting. I find it interesting what you said about a lack of people wanting to work hard. Do you feel like you got how many apprentices? Two or three? Two.
too.
Two and one just graduated. How do you feel like they work hard? How do you feel? How do you feel the
Yeah.
current state of apprentices are?
Oh, well, besides everyone knows Ben who follows me, he's a bit naughty at the moment. But I feel like in terms of my team or our team, like I feel really like grateful. Like they're not sitting there going, oh, well, my mate gets this and my mate gets that. Like, could you sort me out? They don't, they just know that, like, we know that when you come to the company, it's like, show me your worth and then we'll talk about what you're worth. Do you know what I mean? They work hard for what they get and they go above and beyond and they don't whinge. I feel like a few apprentices we've had through have been great and some not so great. But I just feel like yeah, I just feel like with tradesmen, like I'll talk to like say a mate of mine the other night, subby, and so you ever like ever think maybe come work for me? And he's like, oh, not if you're not paying me 160 grand a year. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. Like and he's like, oh, like because he does subbying to some company in the shaft, and it's like, they're paying him $140 an hour, like subby. But he's like, oh, I could never live off $1,700 a week ever. And I'm like, okay, how's that? Like, but I think that's just how, like, at the moment, that's just kind of what's going on. I don't know. I can't really explain it, but that's how it feels anyway. Like everyone, as a business, like everyone's numbers. You can only pay a certain amount until it's kind of like, well, what's the point here? And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
it's this part where it's not financially feasible to buy
mm,
your coffee for 7 and sell it at 6.
yeah,
That's going to be the interesting thing over the next 5 to 10 years. And just shout out to anyone who's quoting a job that's going to go for 1 to 2 years. You got to check your numbers because your operating expense is going to go up, your admin expense is going to go up, your tradie wage is going to go up,
mm,
cost of van is going to go up, cost of living is going to go up, pay rise is going to factor in, materials cost going to go up. Pretty much everything you see in there is going to go up. So be really careful on that. Your online presence, awesome, love it. What majors do you enjoy it?
yeah. I like it. Like, I don't like. Funny enough, to talk to my partner. Like, I actually hate social media. Like, I think it's. I'm not. I'm not. I don't. Oh, I do. Sorry, I do fare well with it, but I don't fare well with people who like to talk behind the screen and like think they're tough or whatever. Like, it's just not me. I'm a very like upfront person. So I don't like reason I don't like social media is because everyone can just comment and say whatever they want, and there's no repercussion, which I hate. But then the other side of social media, like it's actually funny. Like say like me and me and Jaden from Rewired, like we're having like this beef the other day about like high vis shirt versus black shirt. Like that's hilarious. Like I never thought I'd jump on a social media and be like having like, and then people are DMing me like, high vis is labourer, like high vis is like what a trolley pusher, like, no disrespect to trolley pushers, but like it's just you I wouldn't have thought I would like become mates with people like on social media and then like have that funny kind of debates in there. So I actually do enjoy it for that.
It's funny, everyone's on a ticket to fluoro, really. That the dream clients are the fluoro clients, really. The people that give you a whole bunch of repeat work. And it's funny because even when 40 was on here, I don't know, 3 months ago or something like that, he was saying how they crossed over to wearing all high vis because it was too much to gather. Oh, you're in black because you're resi and you're here because you're here. And it's really
Yeah.
interesting. So we'll flash back to this convo in 5 years' time
We
when you're
are
going to
like
sleep in like high vis and,
we're slowly transitioning to a high vis. I have so much like OCD and like issues with like how we present. And like, it's like all my cars are black and gold. And everyone said, oh, that's going to be the death here. You'll never keep to it. And I'm just like, you're dying. Like, I'm literally about to buy a new car and get it resprayed, like a smaller car, get it resprayed black because I can't deal with it. It needs to be all the same. So I've tried all these different like high vis shirts. I'm just got to find the exact right one that fits in with the image, and then we're good to go. But not what Jaden has. That's no. I'm not
We
going
got
to.
him on.
Yeah.
We got him coming on in a couple of days, so I'll have to touch
Oh
base with him about
yes.
that. I'll cut in some snips and like feel the fire a little bit, which will be
Yeah.
good. How important yeah, are the socials, but like branding for you? How important is branding?
Everything for me. Like, I can't. I don't understand how people don't sign right their cars. I don't understand how they don't have a uniform. I don't like. I am such a stickler. Like one of the boys rocks up in like another jumper, and I'm like, "Oh, hey mate," and I'm like, "So where's that? Where's the black jumper you got? Is that in the?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna put it on." I'm like, "Oh okay." Just before you rock up, hey, like it's everything because it's first impressions, right? And like so many customers, like, "Oh wow, like you present really nice," because we're all in like black and yellow or black and gold, and then our cars are black. Like it's just, yeah, it's everything for me. Or even on site, like building sites, like builders always go, oh, one, they go, oh, geez, you must be expensive. Or they say, oh, geez, like looks like a nice crew. Hey, like, looks like you look after yourself. And I'm a stickler for the cars being clean. Oh, I can't stand they're dirty.
It's amazing the flow and effect of a good quote presentation. Like the reality is someone with a relationship can win the quote with a text message, but all the little stuff really matters, like the one percenters,
Mm,
turning up on time, wearing a clean uniform, not covered in silicon, or
yeah.
everyone being in like the same color shirt and the same color pants, like just that kind of stuff really, really matters. And I think it's critical to branding. Now, on the back to the socials front, um, you do Fire Up Friday, which I love, which so anyone can ask you a question. Do you ever get any hate?
Um, nah, I get a good friend of mine who'll watch this who just asked me the most political horrendous questions and just ignore them because I'm not answering that. But no, I don't get any hate. And like if I do, I just like all good, thank you. Like I'll answer your question. But no, I'm like I feel like I'm received like pretty well, I guess. The only thing I don't like about it is that like people like they don't ask. Like I know like you have like I have like say I have people that they watch that first, like, oh, Fire Out Friday, they watch it, like Sparky's, whoever, watch it. Then I do a thing and they watch it, and then they do a thing. So they're watching my story all day. Like, they're watching each response. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're in every single thing. Like, they've re-watched it. And I'm like, just ask a question. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, my biggest thing is like, please. Like, I want to have like 50 questions to answer.
It's
But,
interesting. I feel like a lot of people get insecure to ask questions. And
mm,
I think the more you know, the less you realize you know. So I've been on a mission, as you know, like with numbers. I freaking love it. Like I love
yeah,
working out overheads and net profits and gross profits in different ways. Even what we were talking about today, net profit per hour, gross profit per hour.
yeah,
And I think the more I learn, the more I'm like, oh, I don't understand anything about this. Like
yeah,
I'm just scratching the
yeah,
surface. But to anyone listening, I've encouraged you like the right answer is only 1 to 2 phone calls away, and the right people are more than willing to help. So that's super cool. So socials, what? And have you found a good bond of crew? Like, is that how you met a whole bunch of other Sparkies so online?
yeah, yeah. Like, pretty much just yeah, like the boys that's like yeah, like 40, Jaden, Tommy from TCA. Like I haven't met Rylock yet, but yeah, like just boys like that who seem like I like watching other Sparkies like talk. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd like to put a YouTube out and people like watched it and I was like, oh, it's so weird. Why would you watch it? But like I'm the same. Like I would watch 40's one or Jaden's one, and like I don't know. You just feel like you get to like kind of understand their personality, and like even like touching on that, like I met Jaden. We went to a Clipsal thing. He got flown. I got flown. Oh, no, I didn't get flown. I got driven. He got flown to Sydney. We saw each other. It was full like it was like we just hung out the other week. Do you know what I mean? Like we're just like, oh, hey man, like I don't know, it's real weird, eh? You just kind of create like a friendship with people, and I feel like that's kind of what my social media is for, so people can feel like they can ask me questions, or they just yeah, like I'm not. I do get asked questions sometimes. And I never flog people off. Like I asked a guy asked me like, oh, how do you program like the tripwires and stuff for CCTV? I sent him a video how to do it. And he's like, oh, thanks so much, man. Like I wanted to ask you weeks ago, but I was a bit like thought you wouldn't tell me. I'm not telling you. I don't care.
I'll charge you
So
in yeah.
yeah. Oh no, I'll send the invoice.
Invoice in mail. So
Yeah.
so good. That's really cool. And then what? How funny is meeting people when you've met them on Zoom and you haven't seen them in real life? So one of our members came up. We had some sushi, like a bit of a sushi date, and he was enormous. He was like 6'3", pretty broad. He's a VFL player, and
Oh, it's like my size. No.
I can't gauge your size from here. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a guy 6'3" or 5'10". I don't
Six
know.
foot 99 kilos. 99.4. I'm on a oh, you know what? Because you don't follow my personal thing. I'm on a like goal to 100 kilos.
Most people trying to lose weight. You're trying to gain weight. What's the go?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I used to fight when I fought at like featherweight, like 66. And like I was the same height because I'm older. But I just want to be 100 kilos and then I'll probably get over it and cut back down. But like I wanted like a fit, like I'm a fit 100 kilos. I'm like, I wouldn't say muscly, but I'm like thick 100 kilos. I just feel like that's cool. Like I've always seen people who are like 100 kilos, like, oh, that's so cool. I don't know why. I have
I've
this
ne-
weird obsession with it.
From like from surfing, 100 kilos is my worst nightmare. I'm like, I can't do that. I wouldn't be able to lift myself up. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, fighting. What is the fighting of choice? Like, if you had to choose something to watch, I'm a bit of it out of the fighting realm. Like,
Yeah.
what do you like to watch?
Just UFC, like MMA, boxing. Like I love all of that. Hey, that's all. Yeah, I got a mate, a friend of mine is fighting bare knuckle next week, so that'll be interesting.
How
But
how
yeah,
how hectic is that? Is that so hectic?
yeah. Like I said, like I would. That would be so fun. Like it'd be such a rush. And like I like mind you, like when I fought, I never really dealt very well with like the pressure. Like it's just a lot of lights, a cage, you're locked in. Like always fought my best, but no, just never really liked it too much. But as I got older, I kind of understood it, and now it's like I'd love to do a bare knuckle fight just for that crazy thing. But also like I don't want to break my hand, and then I can't work for whatever an amount of time is. And I really don't, I actually truly don't want to go to a customer's house with like a broken nose and a split face. But like looking at it, it's like, oh, that would be so fun. But I'm not going to do it. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, I don't want to come across like, oh, yeah, you do it. It's like, no, like I think it would be like the funnest, craziest thing. And I'd love it, but I'm not going to do it because that's so stupid and you'll get brain damage.
Yeah. And who's your favorite UFC person?
Oh, favorite. Who do I tune in the most at the moment? Obviously, it was like Conor McGregor back in the day, which everyone knows him. He's like, the face still. But at the moment, who would it be? Oh, I love Volk, like Volkanovski, like Aussie, like Alex Volkanovski. You don't even know him, hey? That's so illegal.
I,
He's
I,
like an Aussie icon. Well, he's like an Aussie icon, right?
I,
Literally, he's like
I,
the
I do. I'm familiar with the name, but I wouldn't be able to pick him in a crowd. You know what I
Well, he
mean?
was a world champion, and then I do work for one of my clients. He called me because I got the weirdest job for you, but the best job. I said, "What is it?" He goes, "I need you to install an EV charger." I said, "Oh yeah," and he goes, "Yeah, for Alex Volkanovski." I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I'll do
So
it.
I'm
Do it
like,
nude. I'll do it nude tomorrow.
yeah, I'm at his house, like,
I'm 6 foot
uh,
tall.
it's funny, but I'm at his house and I do the EV charger, and like, I'm trying to just be like cool, and he comes out and he's like, "Oh, hey boys," I'm like, "Hey man, how are you?" He goes, "Did one of you turn my power off?" And I'm like. Fuck, I don't think so. I actually did. I actually did turn it off without telling him. He goes, "Oh, it's all good. I was just curious." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, oh, can I get a picture? He's like, yeah, of course. I'm like, oh. It was a cool day, man. It was awesome.
What was his weight at? Where's he at?
66 featherweight.
Is he 66? How do you stay that
Basic.
light? How
He's
is
a
he like little frame, or how do you stay light?
no, man. He's short. Like he's probably he would belt me. All disclaimers. He's probably like this high, but like thick, man. Like big head, huge head. Like just a big boy, but just short. That's it. But like I fought at 66. I'm 6 foot. I used to walk around at like what 70, maybe like 76 kilos, 77, like on like off camp, and then into camp you train yourself down, you get shredded, and then you like say like we used to do this weight cut just to briefly get into it, where like I would wake up at like 72 kilos. And then the boys would be over and we'd jump in the bath and have like, we would jump in the bath. I would jump in the bath and then it'd be like a certain temperature. You'd start sweating and then they'd like, you've been there for 10, 15 minutes. Then they wrap you up in all like blankets and that. And then you just sit there and sweat. Like you literally lay there and sweat. And then I would cut all the way down to 66 kilos in sweat. So like maybe like 7 kilo cut. Then we would go to the weigh in with the bloke. And then once you've got like a plan to get your weight back up, because you can't do it too fast because you'll shit yourself. So you got to do like, yeah, you got to do like all your sodium, magnesium, all perfectly. And you got to take little sips because your body essentially thinks like you're trying to kill itself. You're trying to kill yourself. So it almost goes with like protection mode. So you got to like drink really slowly and have like intervals of eating to get all your sodium like back. Because if you load it, you'll literally just have diarrhea. Like it's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then by the time like the next day came and you go to fight, you may be like, I'm be like 76 kilos again.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I often think the crossover between someone who's been very diligent with sports, doesn't have to be professional, but like diligent in terms of they've been good at a sport. I think the crossover to good at business is pretty sort of linear pathway. You know, it doesn't have to be sport. It doesn't have to be sport. It can be anything. But I think it's that discipline, diligence, consistency, training.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I pretty much like when I thought I wanted to quit my job. I said this on 40's podcast. I try not to repeat it too much, but I essentially wanted to quit my job and like fight like full time. And my coach at the time said, no, you're not doing that. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I got my trade. But I would say if I never fought, if I never had done MMA, I would never have a business. Like 100%. I can say without a doubt in my mind, because just what you get from training, like, you know, I lost fights, I won fights. There's so many like highs and lows. And I feel like as soon as you jump into business, if you're not prepared for that, it will just eat you. And I feel like MMA, like, and cage fighting gave me that kind of just that discipline to always be pushing forward and always trying. So yeah, I used to think like, why do I even do this sport if I'm not going to make anything out of it? But now I literally understand why I've done it. It was to build me to be the person I am now, to have a business and to be able to have that tenacity, I guess, the tenacity of just keep going.
Oh man, that's super cool. Hey, the YouTube, how did it go? What was it on? Like what? Yeah. What did you feel
YouTube?
like? Your YouTube video.
It's all right.
So Hspark YouTube. Give it a plug. Give it a 2-sentence plug. 3 sentences.
Hspark Electrical YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, all the rest of it.
So good.
what an influence I got.
Oh, it's so good. But do you ever get embarrassed on filming, or do you just love it, or do you just do it? Or...
I don't care, man. I don't care what anyone thinks. So, like, whatever. Like, yeah, I don't care. I just don't care. Like, I used to care. And I have a few, they shall remain nameless. I have a few boys that are like full, like, they get like, oh, this guy said this, and I'm not putting it up. And I'm just, who cares, man? Like, what? Yeah, I don't know. I just don't care. Like, whatever. I don't, like, people are going to say stuff about you, whether you're doing good or you're doing bad. People are always going to talk about you. Like, as long as you're talking about me, I don't really care, really, honestly.
It's interesting.
Or don't talk about me.
I feel like, I remember going into this builder's place. He had this kitchen renovation. It was a pretty small job from that point. I walked in And he was like, "Oh, I always worry about what clients think about you." And I'm like, "Just open your mouth, just talk, just talk, just talk." He's like, he goes, "As soon as you start talking, I'm sweet, but like, but for like face value, I'm not sure. Hey, if you look like you're good at your job." And I'm like, I'm not sure if that's a compliment or what. I don't. That's a, like he was like I love that guy. He was such a legend. He got us a lot of work, but it was so interesting. And I feel like obviously you've got to get better as a person, as a communicator, as a human. The goal is to be kind and generous, but also be
Mm,
profitable in business. That's super. That's fine. But be a good boss and be a good steward of what's in your hand and what you've been given. But I always think it's such a it's so interesting that like you've got to be consistent as a human over a
mm,
long period of time. And the person someone sees on camera should be the person they see off camera. The person someone
mm.
sees on the job site should be the person they see off it. Not going to be, everyone's asking to be perfect, but I reckon the more you talk sometimes and can flow through, and I feel personally like in Instagram for us, we put up just got a bit of tangent here, but like we just put up 30-second clips. Like I never edit anything. And it's like, well, that's just what it is. It's raw. Like
Mm,
we seem to attract the same sort of clients, super raw, honest, kind,
mm.
want
Yeah.
the same things. And I feel like that branding is so important, but it's just like raw, authentic. It's not fake. It's not over polished. And I reckon it's cool. But yeah, whoever's out there listening, just get better at communicating. How do you get better? Like what how do you get better at communicating, editing? Like what inspires you right now?
Oh, I don't know. Like nothing. Like I'm working on some secret business I can't discuss. But yeah, like in terms of like the YouTube and Instagram and you know what, like what's cool? Like people like me. They like my personality. And I'm like, oh, that's so random. Because like so many people used to hate me for my personality. So it's such a flip now. Like people actually do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I can't really I'm just myself. Like this is who I am. If you see me somewhere and I'm like, oh hey man, like I'm not any different. Do you know what I mean? Like it's weird. I can't really explain it, but it never feels like it's hard to record because I'm just being me. Like even with the YouTube, I'm just talking. Like yeah, I forgot stuff. I didn't have it. Like that's so. I never have a charged battery. Like that's it's just me. Like, I can't really. Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard to explain because I'm not trying to put anything on Instagram or YouTube.
It's funny because I feel like, and this is interesting for anyone listening. I reckon my if we put a camera in front of me, I'm a lot better now, but I can get insecure and say weird stuff that isn't typical of who I am.
Yeah.
And I reckon just if you're like that listening in, it's just reps, it's time on ground. It's literally just practice makes perfect. Not everyone can be excellent with a camera in their face. And if you
Mm.
and I'm not saying you change your personality type, but I'm saying
Yeah.
if you've got insecurity in there and it's like, oh, I'm worried about what people think. I remember being I don't know if I've ever talked about this out loud, but I did the Sparky podcast and there was a filmer there, Shan, and I was so insecure. Like I can't even begin to describe how insecure I was. And I drove away, like I called Cam, the business partner, and I was like, oh, I'm such a dickhead, like, can't believe it. And I made this math mistake, which I don't normally do. I said 40,000 when I should have said 4,000, and I was just like kicking myself. And I called 40 and I was like, we should re-record this because I'm like, I
And then he's like, nah.
I hate myself right now. I was so down, and I hadn't felt that I hadn't don't really feel down, and I was really frustrated at myself. And then I listened back to it when it came out on that weekend or next weekend, and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty good. Like, but it was so funny it was just more like pouring out insecurity. So, what advice would you have to someone who was like putting a camera in front of their face or wanted to do some more socials? Like, what advice would you have to?
Oh, I feel like I'm not even allowed to give advice. I don't know. I just feel like it's very hard at the moment, right? To kind of like just get in front of it and do the recording. I still can't really do it in crowds. That's my next challenge is to be able to like just be wherever and be like, oh yeah, right. I can do it on work sites. Like I can actually do it on work sites when other trades don't care. But yeah, I just feel like probably like you said, like more just reps, like just get on, hey, we're going through this job today. we're this, we're that, rah, rah. And then that's a lot easier. Then you can progress to like doing it more in front of people. I think when people don't show their face, you lose that connection. And in social media, we've already lost it. We've already lost the connection. So if you show your face in social media, you get that connection back. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like for me, that's why I try and show a lot more of myself and who I am and who the boys are. Yeah. Was
Yeah.
that a tangent? Yeah, I
No,
guess it
yeah, a little
was.
bit. But who is I like to ask this question. This question has come to me recently. Got my own opinions, but who is your YouTube and Instagram for? Like,
Oh,
is it for clients? Is it for other electricians? Is it for worldwide domination through a sponsored energy drink? Like, what is what is it?
could I almost say it's just for men and what I do. I don't really build it for anyone. Like, just come along. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that's probably incorrect or not correct. I don't know. It's just for me. I just do it because that's what I want to do, and that's what I feel. That's where I feel like the world is going. And I definitely know. I speak to a shoulder name nameless that like talks about no, you should do it towards clients. You should do it towards that. And I'm just like, well, that's not me. That's fake. For me, that's fake. Like,
Did I
if I'm like,
have I
yeah.
talked to you about this yet, or was I've talked about this exactly?
No, you've spoke about it, and I've spoke about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about this on a podcast the other day, and I feel like the most underrated thing that hopefully you can achieve a staff member from it. Not saying that's a reason,
Oh no,
but
sorry. Okay, yes, please let
like
me add that in. Yes.
I think your ideal client might look at the ideal client doesn't care if you can put a PowerPoint in or not. They generally speaking, every single electrician can put an EV charger in. Like no one cares. I'm not saying
Not
don't.
like Hspark, brother.
Yeah, it can't be as straight as
Have you
Hspark.
seen Nick's switchboard? Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. But like everyone can do it, right? And I'm not.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, I'm not saying don't post your stuff on. I'm just saying,
No.
if you a client should be able to look at your Instagram and get a feel for you, get a vibe straight away. So your top 3 pin posts or whatever you can pin should be like, if you do high-end resi, showcase your high-end resi. If you're home automation, showcase it. I like the face to camera stuff because a client can also get a feel for you
Mm.
and be like, am I going to like working with this person? And then they can start to see the interactions of followers, which I think matters because it's like good enough for 5,000 people, good enough for me. I actually think Instagram's more like a modern day interactive website like that.
Yeah, like that's the connection.
It's
Yeah.
good connection, but so just definitely some stuff for clients. But your ideal residential Betty is not looking at your Instagram for EV charges. Your high end residential builder or commercial client, yeah, maybe probably actually they're checking out as it should double up with your website, double up with Google reviews. You have to sort of have like the triple threat there, or maybe there's more threats, whatever. But I think the most underrated thing is you're actually permanently advertising your business to other employees or potential employees or business owners that are like, I've had enough now. I'm going to go work for Heath. I like Heath. I've seen his videos. He's been
Yeah.
consistent. His personality stayed consistent for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I've written 3 questions in the Fire Up Friday. He's given me a funny answer. Like he filmed a video for me on, that camera. So I think that's underrated. And someone like in a holiday town, Sydney's a little bit different, but if you're in a town where someone moves to, I don't think you should underestimate the power of a positive and good social media presence. And when I say positive, it has to be positive. If you're like, oh, I was watching a video the other day and someone was like, oh, the client asked, while you're here, we just finished a pod on this, will come out like next week or week after or whatever. Maybe it's out, I don't know. And then like they made the client feel like a dickhead for asking, oh, while you're here, can you just do this? And I'm like, that's a good thing. If you're on site and someone asks, why you're here, can you just like, no one's asking to do it for free. It's imagine being at a coffee shop and then you ask for another coffee and the guy or girl is like, oh no, like you can't do that. But yeah, so social media, like, yeah, it's for you. But there's obviously presents other perks. It's for clients, it's for potential staff members, potential apprentices coming through the ranks as well.
Yeah.
It's for information, it's to uplift the industry. It's also for potential sponsorship deals down the track. which
No,
is
like yeah, I
yeah,
should. Sorry, I don't really think of it too much, but that's all like 100% valid. Like that's all. Like yeah, I want to actually. I don't advertise on Seek. I've just done another ad. All my ads have been like someone I know, or like sorry, all my hires have been someone I know, or like from Instagram. Um, but yeah, no, 100%. Like, and that way, I feel like not only that, like a client might. It might work both ways. A client might jump on mine and be like, "Oh, this guy's a little bit silly. Hey, like, I don't want to work with him." Or they might look and they go, "Oh, this guy's like, they do good work. Like, look at the work they do. It's great. And he has a good personality. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like it's just, that's what I do it for. Like, yeah, I'm not like you put a picture of a PowerPoint or a downlight. Oh, okay, they do downlights and PowerPoints. That's so great. But like, who are they? Do you know what I mean? They might rock up and like, I've had people like trades come to me to do jobs, and I've picked the guy that I just got along with. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just like, he's like, hey man, how you going on? Nice car, man. I love that, right? This and that, whatever. And then you had another guy come in. Oh, hey, yeah. I mentioned that up, and yeah. And you think, man, you're like so not relaxed, eh? So it's like that. Like for me, I'm always going to the more like guy I get along with
yeah. I mean,
personality.
it's the ideal market, right? That person you get along with, because essentially that's why I was always concerned about people that don't work with friends or family, and I'm like, what is it about you that makes you unable to work with friends and family? That's
Mm,
not a positive trait,
no,
like, and they've
no.
got to pay someone, they might as well pay you. And also, if you're kind and honest and good at your job, like who better to do the work than you? No one's saying to do it at a
Mm.
discount. Like somehow in the middle of communication, friends and family, everyone just thinks cheap, cheap, discount, discount. And yeah, if it's your mom or your brother, like 100%, like do whatever you got to do.
Charge them double.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But to be fair, like they probably want to pay too. Like if it's your parents, they probably like die. Like I'd say 90% of people's parents would be like, yeah, I'll pay that. That's
Yeah, my dad, like, he'll be like, oh, can you send the boys just to... I was like, yeah. He's like, what do I owe you? I said, Dad, you raised me, but $300. No, I'm kidding.
yeah,
Nah, but yeah, like, yeah,
yeah,
I don't like, yeah, my family always want to pay. And I was like, yeah, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Just depends. Depends
yeah,
what the numbers do. Bro.
yeah.
And like,
If it's
I,
green, send it. If it's red,
I feel
raise
like
it.
if you've got to talk like well for me personally, right, this could be completely wrong, but if you've got to like if you're like oh I don't work for my friend they want it for free, you probably your moral compass is probably a bit odd, and your family's probably like you know what I mean you probably have this weird relationship. Like my dad calls me and goes, "Oh mate, can I have another camera out the back?" I go, "Yeah." Like, of course you can. Why can't you have that? Like, do you know what I mean? I'll do like there's not even a thought that goes into it. It might take 6 months to get the camera done. But like it is like, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's weird when people are like, oh, I don't want to work for family. It's like, what do you mean? Like, one, it should just be a normal interaction. There should be no like, do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, or it could be like, hey, we can do it for this price, and
Yeah,
we can't do it for the other price.
yeah,
So, but I recommend this person; he'll do it for cheaper. There's no doubt if you're running a team of 10 to 20 or 30 or
yeah,
five, that a one person band can't do it quicker, better, faster, stronger, cheaper. Just the reality of overhead and life and charging and quoting and that kind of
yeah.
stuff. So,
Can't go
you
do
know,
a full house renovation for free. Like it's just cost. It ends up if you run the business, it actually costs you money. So then you done that job. It cost you, but you done the job. It's yeah.
yeah, I remember my childhood mate. I had to. His parents got me to quote. I love those guys. They gave us a lot of work. They got us to quote their house, like a massive. No, it's a massive renovation, but massive in terms of they knocked their house to the ground and rebuilt this 2-story like monstrosity. And he asked for a quote, and I gave him the quote. I think it was like 50 grand or something. He's like, oh, someone else said it would be 8, and I was like, yeah, definitely use that person because
Oh, can I get the number? You can do my house.
I'm not going near that. I was like, here's the breakdown, and here's where it is. Like that's what. And then I went on family holidays with this guy like for a whole life, and I've never shied away from opening the computer and being like, this is the break even. This is the margin I have to put on it. Like no one's against you making money.
No.
But I think that if you can't break it down, how did you get there? That's what always been my philosophy.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think? Like, obviously, you're coming into the you've been a bit indoctrinated into the numbers sense
Mm.
recently. What have you learned about numbers in the past couple of months?
Probably too much. Probably too much
Too
because
much, really?
it's too you need to have like an onboarding process and be like, hey, you might have a couple conniptions along the way and like and sit in a dark room and like just have memories of like sitting at the pub with the boys and not understand that meal just cost you $1,050 and nah. But yeah, pretty much like yeah, massive. Like just the net profit. Can't get over the net profit. Me and Nick can't get over it. We always talk about it. Like we quote jobs and then we're like, oh yeah, this is like looks good. And then we do mini quote checker and we're like, wow, looks better. And then we get the job and we're like, oh, that's so weird. Like we wouldn't have got that. Like the client was going to do it anyway, but we would have had it at X amount. Now it's at Z amount or whatever. So yeah, just that with the numbers, like the net profit, the close the week or die trying. Yeah, those things are like, I said to a guy, he said, oh, what do you think of Sparky Coach? I said, that's really good. And he goes, yeah, I can't really afford it yet. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough, but maybe you can't afford not to do it. Like, you know what I mean? And not trying to like, not trying to just push you because it's your podcast, but that's in my opinion now. I'm like, well, can't imagine not doing it now, which is obviously good for you. But
I,
you know what I mean?
I
Like,
actually, I had a flashback. Remember that you were in the thick of that misquote, which I what kind of want
to be fair, you gave me a lot of
if we
like
can
a
get
lot of
yeah
help before.
but if I can get into that misquote, I'd like to because we've all been there. But I remember you were like, I've got no money, and I was like, well, when you get paid, just give me some of it, and it was like, it's so funny, but like that's just
Yeah.
I think that pays dividends to yeah, I know. I just thought that was funny, but
No,
yeah, but
it was good. It
it's
was very
it's
good.
funny now because you're you know you see the fruit of
Oh,
it.
I
But
love how like, I had a lot of conniptions during those months. And I love that I had my daughter and I'm sitting in my dad's lounge room and like F everything. I hate everything. Like I don't even want to do this. I don't want to do this. And my dad looked at me and goes, at least you had the money to lose. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Like, and it
yeah,
just changed everything. And I'm like, oh yeah, it sucks and it still hurts. But I'm like, you go to my wife, oh, how's dad? He just says, at least you had the money to lose. And I thought, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
that's cool. What that I want to talk about the misquote that that you did if we can talk about that. I haven't even
Yeah.
asked you before, but like, but I mean we've all been there. I've misquoted many jobs, some terribly bad. I remember high-fiving my third year apprentice because I won two jobs. Basically, I won a it was two lots of townhouses for 300 grand. And I remember I got an email saying if you can what did it say? It said, oh, I need you to be, it was I can't remember what it was, like 180 and 120 or something similar. And then total 300 grand. He goes, if I'm giving you both, I need you to drop to, it was about 10-15%.
Yeah.
And those emails you get, it's funny I can talk about it now openly because I'm aware of it's not bullying. It's not coercion.
It's bullshit.
Although you could call it both, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not manipulation. I feel
Bro, it's literally every single word you just said, but that's all good.
yeah, but I think you've got to go through those emotions that the world is against me and go into I didn't understand. That's the only thing you can do. The only thing you can do is because you can't keep blaming everyone else.
No,
And
it's
this
your
is
fault. Yeah.
this is interesting, and I mean that. I mean this to empower, not to discourage. I mean it to empower. I mean like you are the person that said yes. You are the person that put the quote together at 10 p.m. at night. You are the person that bowed down to someone else's price. You are the person that thought the job was achievable for that. You are the person that signed the contract. You are the person that didn't ask the right questions. You are the person that didn't charge the variations. You are the person that put themselves in that position, and then you're crying, woe is me. So I just think it's
100%.
like the only power you can grab from that, because you can't end up the disgruntled person at the pub talking about, I used to be able to throw a football over those mountains. I used to run a business that didn't work. I used to have a marriage and it didn't work. And not discounting
It's
it.
like, builders never pay. Oh, okay, they pay me. I don't
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing.
And I didn't mean to paraphrase that marriage. It was just more like you can't be that disgruntled person. Like it works for some people. It just doesn't work for other people. I can't solve a Rubik's Cube. My brother-in-law can. So it's just interesting to be like, I remember doing these two jobs. I lost 50 grand cost price. I'll say that again, 50 grand cost price on both. And it was an incredibly low moment for me. Firstly, I mean, money is second or third to ego. I reckon ego is one of them, and frustration, and then it's money. It's all entwined. And a lot of the times you don't pay for this debt until much later too, because you're still sending labor materials to a job where you've exhausted the quote. Now your wholesaler bill's due in 60 days. Now your ATO bill's due in another 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. So you feel the ramifications of a large misquote for quite some time. And it's quite disheartening and frustrating, and it's a bruise to the ego. And then, and then a lot of times I found, and this is why I'm so against the hustle culture of hustling for work. Remind me to ask you about how you find work later as well. But a lot of it's like hustling for the wrong kind of work, being the wrong kind of busy, making the wrong money. And a lot of it's self-inflicted. And you look back and you'd be like, holy crap, how did I do that? Like I'm a smart person. I know better than that. Why did I feel that I needed to do that? That's sort of my journey. And I hope to bring awareness to it because, people, it's so easy for me to jump on social media and be like, I quoted this job at 80 and someone's at 60 and everyone's like, I can't believe it. And it's like, yeah, that person just got the quote wrong. Like I knew my numbers, quoted 80. I can't do it for 60. That person did. That's potentially a business ruined, a family ruined, a life ruined,
Yeah.
So not saying 20 grand's going to ruin your life, but like 200 grand might.
Oh, could. Like, how do we know?
500 grand might. But what did you learn from that misquote? Like what would you do differently? How would you approach it better? What did you learn along the way?
Pretty much like the whole thing was my fault. Like I got approached by a nice bloke I'm actually still friends with. Um, they gave me a price and said I needs to be at this. I was just lazy and said, oh yeah, it looks pretty good. You know what I mean? Didn't really look at too much of the detail of it. Very, 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 very detailed job. Um, and treated the job just incorrectly, like treated it wrong with like, set up all of us when I could have just had a guy and I could have had a trade-in apprentice there for probably 6 weeks. And it's still like, I mean? I mishandled it 100%. Obviously there was things on like, the building side that was incorrect that they done, but that's it is what it is. But yeah, my thing was just like, I thought, oh, they've already done the quote for me. Why would I quote it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's quite typical of a busy
That's
person.
so
Yeah,
dangerous too.
yeah.
Busy or non-busy, actually, because we weren't busy, and that's why I took it. Like,
Hectic. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I remember, um, they will remain nameless forever, but I'm still cool with them. I'm still cool with them.
Well,
I still do work for them.
it's not their fault.
Yeah,
Like,
no, no,
that's the power. Like when people say I don't work for builders, it's like, or commercial clients or whatever. Not all builders are created equal. Some of them are the best. Some of my best friends are builders, and they're the best people you ever meet. And they're so lovely. And they're like, "Oh, make sure you charge that." So it's not. You can't just blanket one genre of people or businesses
no,
or business types and be like, "Oh, that
no.
sucks. That area sucks." Like, it's not that's a lack of education. I
Yeah, I
feel.
just feel like, I feel like with that, like, I could openly say that after, 5 years in business, it was the first time I was like, nah, I swear I'm done. Like, I can't, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. I told the boys, I don't know how I'm getting out of this. Like, yada, yada, yada. Pretty much broke my team. And then we rebuilt and we're like literally better than ever. So I'm like actually glad it happened. So how weird's that? Like I would take that mistake and let it happen again to teach me everything I learned now. Do you know what I mean? But definitely don't make that mistake if you're someone else.
No, no, I know what you're saying because I feel like most of the where there's pain, there's a process to be improved. So unfortunately, probably I'd say we don't have two dissimilar personality types, both hectic fighters. No, I'm kidding about but like
Yeah.
both probably both
100
probably
kilos.
like border gate, sort of just go for it and deal with consequences after. And I think
Mm,
that's personality type is incredible and fantastic when it's got some good questions at the start of
when
it,
it's
like that, or
handled.
when it's like, well, what's the worst case scenario? What's the worst thing that can happen? I think if you want to make a good decision, this is the best way to do it. You go, what's the best case that can happen, And what's the, like, if I choose that, what's the best and worst case? So let's say I choose that job, what's the best case scenario, worst case? If I don't choose that job, what's the best case scenario, worst case? So you're almost like link treeing this decision to try and iron out, well, hang on, I could land myself here, but I also could land myself here. The reality is probably something in the middle, but I think it's aware to be important of severe consequences, and it's aware to be important of positive ramifications too, whether that's financial or time or opportunity cost or otherwise. So yeah, it's interesting you say that, because it's like, if you don't go through that, you don't get the learning. But how hard was it? And did you want to give up business? Like, was there a time where you're like, what was the low point?
I just wanted to fight everyone. Or, like, I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, and this is in a nice way. Actually, not gonna fight anyone, but like, I was just like, you can all get it. You know what I mean? I was just like, you can all like, yeah. It was my like the job is amazing. Like the boys that, and they don't, they don't work for me anymore, but they done such an amazing job. For the pressure we were under was ridiculous. Um, yeah, like I'm actually very proud of the job. I won't say which job it is because me and the builder both don't talk about it. But yeah, I was actually really proud of the job, and yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things, eh? Like I'd do it all again if it got me to where I am now. But until yeah, I did want to give up, but at the same time, like family, daughter, that was probably my biggest thing. My biggest thing was like I couldn't give up on them. Do you know what I mean? That's how it felt. And like my wife was amazing. Like she was like she just let me be so zoned out. Like she'd be telling me something, I'd just be like, she knew I was completely at this job, and she was amazing for the whole thing. And like anything, I'm like, oh, maybe we have to sell your car. Maybe we have to do this. She's like, that's all good. No worries. That's fine. We'll be fine. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, if you think we'll be fine, sweet. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if I didn't have that backup for her to be like, it's all good. We're all good. I don't care about a car. I don't need that. I don't need that. I need you to be okay. I was like, bro, we're gonna be all right. It's all good. Don't worry. I was just kidding about the car. We're keeping it. Like that's kind of yeah. She really lit that fire for me.
That's so beautiful, man. I love that. I think my wife stayed out of the business in like she's incredibly intuitive with decisions, and I could take her, oh, I've got this, and she'd be like, don't do that. And I'm like, you don't have any detail.
Mm.
Like, how do you know? But she's so incredibly intuitive. And when I say stay out of the business, I mean like she just let me have free reign over it, and
Yeah,
she just trusts
yeah.
me. And it's something so beautiful about that. Like I don't come home to someone going like, why are you working so hard? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? It's like it's fully just that beautiful person you
My
are.
wife runs a business too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like she
What does
runs a
she do?
dance teacher. She runs Nerve Industries in Nerve Dance Company. Sorry, just in Appen. But
How's your moves on the floor? Like decent or pretty good, or what is it?
none of her girls want to dance like that. I said, you don't want to see me. You're not even that good. Like it's ridiculous. So, like if I come out, you know. Actually, I got to dance with my daughter. Had her first one. Got a little dance with her. I didn't really dance. I just blew bubbles on the stage. It was good.
Oh man,
Good fun.
that's so cool. I don't have a girl, so I'm out of the girl loop. How's having a girl?
Oh, I like. I love it. Like she's just such my little like. I can't even think about like her first boyfriend. I'm gonna dig a massive hole and be like, "Oh mate, just come out here. I'll show you this hole that fits you perfectly." Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Just I can't even. Yeah, I can't. I can definitely see like, like I'd love to have a son. Love to have a son, but yeah, I love my daughter so much. Like I can. Yeah, she's awesome. She's so.
I think it's so cool that as a man you get to show her what how to be treated. That's
Yeah.
so cool, and I reckon that that's a lot of pressure on that, obviously, but like good pressure.
I was
So
scared for that. I was scared for that. Like that was my biggest thing was like, yeah, I've now got to be a role model, you know? But that's it. It's all good. We're all good. That's my
you
say. It's
just
all
know
good.
she's gonna bring home some 100 kilo 6 foot fighter and be like, "Oh, Dad, this is," and you're like, "I'm gonna bare knuckle this guy." No, he's actually pretty cool. You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I can say to my missus, like me and my best mate, because he's got two daughters, and I'm like, oh, imagine like the first time we meet the boyfriends, we're tough, and they'll walk in and be like, hey mate, how you going? Like we'll be fully like, whatever.
yeah. You seem nice. You seem nice. Um,
I want her to get into jiu-jitsu and boxing. My wife wants her to be a dancer. She already dances now, like Airlie, but yeah, I'm like, mate, as soon as she can get that do that jiu-jitsu, get that gloves on, straight in there.
My,
I'll be taking her to sparring to everything.
so
Yeah.
good. My kids been frothing on karate. They'd love it. They would like.
Mm.
They love it. Hey, I want to talk about finding work too. Oh, so misquoting to wrap it up. To wrap up the quoting part of things, I feel like
Green
okay,
Sparky
we
coach.
didn't get to this. Like, yeah, but what would you do differently now? Like, if you were sitting in front of that quote now, you got the opportunity. You've got to be at 47 grand. Like, you've got to be at. How funny was that today? Actually, that.
Hey. I called him and I said, oh, I'm at about double that. And he goes, oh, really? All right, sweet. Let me call you back on that. So he's like, oh, he goes, yeah, no, we didn't. Yeah, anyway, we'll talk about that later.
No, yeah. So what advice would you give to yourself now? Like, looking back at it, would you have asked better questions? Would you have had a better price? Would you have handled the job better? Like, I mean, all of the above.
Okay. This is a very hard one to answer for me because I would do nothing different because then I feel like if I didn't do it, I wouldn't be where I am now, right?
Yeah, but
But
what about
let's pretend it lands on my desk today.
yeah, today,
Yeah,
today, today. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. No, that's yeah. I take my time to actually go through it and like read the detail, and yeah, ask more questions like about certain things going in there. And one of the biggest things for me actually I learned on that job was not in a bad way, but like don't trust like the builder's got enough to do. They've got enough on their plate. If they tell you, if I say, oh hey man, we've got 26 figure eights in the wall. Am I gonna have to send back one of the boys to pull them out of the cabin? No, we'll do it. It's all good. They're not gonna do it. Like, and that was, what I mean? Like when you take on a job, it's your responsibility. Don't give it to anyone else, not a builder, not anything. Even if you got to have a second year apprentice sitting there while they sheet the wall for 3 days and then they pull out each single cable, like that was massive. That was a big learning curve. It was like, you just got to take it on yourself. Like, you don't trust anyone else. Just trust you and your team to do the job.
Yeah, that's cool. I was a big believer on everything comes out of timber. Everything's got photos. Everything's super thorough. No mistakes. Got to be there at the right times. Like as soon as that gyprocker
Yeah.
puts a sheet on, you're cutting it. It's like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
standing with gyprock on,
Zzz, zzz,
Yeah,
zzz.
but like that should be your goal to not make a mistake, or if you do, cover it up quick. Just
Yeah.
just circle it and write patch.
Patch, please.
Yeah,
And then smiley
there's
face.
no worse feeling. Oh, there is, but a bad feeling is still fitting off when they're moving furniture in, and it's like I shouldn't be here. No one should be on this carpet. Stripping this cable, cutting this copper. This is not a good time. But okay,
Mm.
I want to get into this. Finding work, right? Starting out in your first couple of years, what did you do to find work? What would you encourage someone to do to find more work?
Well, I guess I just reached out to everyone I knew and said, "Oh, look, I'm going to be starting my business. I'm obviously in the tunnel. This is just how it happened for me." I reached out to a few people, said, "Oh, I'm going to be starting my electrical business. If you have anything like, or know anyone, pretty much just sent that to like everyone in my phone." And then, yeah, as it's gone on, like I'm feel like probably like many business owners, like I just know a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? And like I feel like you always keep like a good relationship with everyone, really. And to bring him up again, like Jaden, like we spoke about this, like we just know a lot of people, and like that helped us kind of like be able to network and like, oh, call this guy who knows that guy who knows that guy, and then slowly it like will just come in. I've never been a massive like advertiser. Like we have a website, we have good Google reviews, and I get a couple of jobs that way. But I don't put a ton of like my website's beautiful. My wife made it, but I don't have a ton of yeah, we don't do a ton of like traffic stuff and whatnot. Um, and I'm always like massive things like I'm always calling clients. Hey, like clients haven't done work for 2 years. I'm still friends with them. And I call them. Oh, how you going? I haven't spoke to you for like 2 months. Like, oh yeah, I'm good with this and that. Oh, you know what? Actually, we need a TV put up in the office. I'm like, sweet, that's what I thought. So like that's it. That's a massive thing. I'm always just checking up. I check up on everyone. Like I could have 300 contacts in my phone and I could have done a job for them a year ago. I'll save their number. They call me and I'm like, oh, Deborah. She's like, oh, wow. I can't believe you remembered me. Like, do you know what I mean? Just keeping like always keeping tabs on every person you do a job for. If it's a great job and they're a good customer, like keep that number, check in with them. That's what I do anyway, and it seems to work.
That's great. And is that sort of your personality type? You've always been like hyper social and chatty, and or is
Um,
that a learnt skill, or you feel like you've always been pretty good at that?
no, I haven't. I haven't been really good at that at all, to be honest. I've always been a bit shy, introverted, and don't really like being out there. But I've just learned through business that like one, you got to really like yeah, you got to not be afraid to like kind of talk to people and do you know what I mean, and just like have a chat, and especially with like jobs, like I remember my first year. Oh, it's a bit much. Oh, okay, I can change a price. You know what I mean? Like that's every business owner. But you've just got to kind of yeah, you've got to understand that when you get into business, you have to be like friendly, you have to be chatty, and that is me. Like deep down, that's me. Just back in the day, it wasn't. I was just a bit quiet.
Yeah, it's funny. I think well, I feel like the confidence in business came from me once I knew my numbers really well, and then
Yeah.
I could have some fun with it. Even someone asked me the other day, how much is your program, like Sparky Coach? And I was like, well, prices. It was a Insta DM, and I just wrote back saying price is subjective to scope. Question mark, like, and it was funny because it was like it is like, what does it include? Everyone wants to know the price and of your electrical job, but like, what does it include? You can't have a price without an inclusion list. Otherwise, the price is meaningless if you don't know what it includes
Yeah.
or what it doesn't include at that point. So I think learning to ask good questions, even the hourly rate situation. I'm a big advocate for hourly rate work. We've got clients making $1 million a year, charging $100 an hour. Like, the all the coaching propaganda of stuff. You got to charge this and that. It's just sales
Oi,
tactics.
don't go on a tangent, Chloe. I'm stopping you right there.
No,
No, no,
no.
no. I literally want you to. I love it.
But I was just laughing about like when the client let's say I tell the client, oh, we're 120 an hour. They're like, oh, Joey's 100. I'm like, yeah, we're twice as good as Joey. That makes us cheaper. Like I just
Yeah,
think you've got to have I'm not saying comebacks, but you've got to be confident enough to and smart enough to steer the conversation in a direction that the cast. I'm saying cast doubt. I'm not saying that, but technically speaking, if you look at it holistically, if I'm $100 an hour and I'm a bit slow, it takes me 2 days. The job might take me, that's $1,600 of labor, right? If I'm $200 an hour, job takes me a day, that's $1,600 of labor. So an hourly rate is subjective to the person who is performing the rate. And
yeah,
profitability of an hourly rate is subjective to the overheads of that company, which might be low. So it's really, really interesting to talk about. But yeah, I just feel like when you're in your sweet spot, confident, and when you know business, you can have some fun with it. And I think that's a really
yeah,
important. I think that's a really important part of like your personality type because no one wants to be full zero guy.
no,
You got to joke and have some fun. You got to build relationships, and you can't do that being stone cold. Like, no, I will not break down the invoice. Like,
yeah. Well, that's what Nick calls me the other day, and he goes, "Oh, when I was on site, with the boys, like just had one of our commercial jobs. Oh, like he said to me, oh, geez, almost fell over at that 10 pound price." And I said, "Did he?" And he goes, and Nick's like, "What? Did he fall over?" I was like, "No, did he say that?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "What else did he say?" And he goes, "Nothing. He just passed a comment." I was like, "Oh, okay." I get on my phone. He goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm calling him." So I call him. I go, "Hey," and he goes, "Hey." I said, "What's wrong with the price? Why'd you almost fall over?" And he goes, "Oh, no, just expensive." I said, "What'd you expect?" He goes, "Oh, 1,000." I said, "You're dreaming. I've got to do this, 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 this." And he goes, "That's fair enough. Let's just do it."
it's
I'm like, and,
so
and then Nick's
good.
like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
Yeah,
But like, it's just like, yeah, that back in the day, I'd be like, "Oh, really? Okay, I might change it a bit." I think we did end up adjusting it, but we adjusted the cable because it didn't need 63 amps. You only need 32 amps. But other than that, it's like, I can't do it cheaper, mate. Like, that's what it is. And he's like, "Yeah, that's cool, whatever."
and I think people respect that. I'm a massive advocate for calling upon sending the quote, or before you send it to be like, hey,
Never
it's
after you
it's
guys,
yeah,
yeah.
it's come in here. This is where it lands. This is what I got to do. Here's the breakdown. I'll read through really well. Have a look through. Let me know any questions. I think if you can break the ice and explain to, not saying you have to explain every dollar, but if you can explain, hey, I got to do this, this, and this. It's 4 days worth of work. It's come in here, and I just think that's cool. Like
Yeah.
that's fine. People want to work with those people, and I think you can make a lot of money off people once, but if I gave everyone the option, do you want to? there's no worse feeling, in my opinion, than hustling for work. It's a low time in your business when you've got to really hustle for work. You're paying staff to do nothing. You're stressed about the next week's schedules or nothing. If I gave everyone the choice to have like, hey, you can make 50% net or 80% net on this job, or you can make 30% net, 20% net, and I can give you this client repeat on reheat for 10 years. What do you prefer?
Yeah, you're
No
gonna be,
one on
yeah.
earth is going to choose a short-term situation.
No.
No one. It just doesn't. It doesn't exist. It's like, do you want this short-term gratification or do you want this long-term relationship? Everyone's going to choose the long-term relationship. So I think
Mm.
it's interesting when you pull yourself back and be like, what's a good decision in 5 years' time? And no one's saying you can't make money, but how can you make money on repeat?
And then I think the opposite as well. Like I think that you can also um, go the opposite way and do like working for the wrong people because they're always asking for a favor, as in like they're oh it's a bit much, mate. Can you put oh yeah okay oh no they're good people oh no they're this or that. It's like yeah, but you're not making money. Like what are you doing then? Do you know what I mean? Like that's like definitely can go the other way. And like it went the other way for me a few times. Like build a oh yeah I didn't put that in my oh it's all right mate I'll do it but next one and then all of a sudden it keeps happening like oh okay I've just set myself up for this. So I feel like there's got to be a happy medium.
Yeah, no, I hear. Now, don't have to be top three or top five tips or like, but what advice would you have to like, what's your 3 to 5 to 1 to pearls of wisdom for people, like non-negotiables, what it takes to like run a business? What advice would you have? So someone, let's say someone is sort of just starting or 3 years in or even 10 years in, like what are you gonna say to them? If you're on a platform with a Madonna mic, right? Shirt
Yeah.
optional, talking to the crowd, what are you gonna tell everyone? It could be one thing.
Oh no, I definitely would say there's a couple. They might be a tangent. Stop me if it's not. But I would say one of the things I definitely wanted to say was like know your limits. Like you say know your numbers, 100%. I say know your limits, right? Not everyone is cut out to own a business. Like, and probably more like a mental health stand. Like if you don't get it after a certain amount of years and you don't this and you don't that, like whatever, and you're not seeking the help, there's a good chance that it might not be for you. Like, and I think there's such a premise now, like owning a business and like, oh, business owner, company, and they create this like personality that I'm a business owner, and they run themselves into the ground to make sure their business is running. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like if people could like, if you do it for like 3, 5, 6 years and you don't enjoy it and you're like, fuck, I'm just working for myself. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Like, just call it a day. Like, to be like, be okay with being like, you know what? I actually don't really enjoy this, but I enjoy being a Sparky. Like, I feel like the biggest thing, you can be a great electrician, but a crappy business owner. Like, 100%. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like there's too much like advocacy for like never quitting and like oh no like never give up like if you run yourself to the ground. I feel like no, like sometimes it's not for people and there's just and they do so much better doing something else. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like so that would be like I know it's a long one but that'd be like number one, right? And it's a thing I see too often. I think you really shouldn't be in business like you it's just it looks horrendous, like it looks bad. You're not doing well. You shouldn't be doing it. Like you should really just look after yourself and get a job and do well that way. But they're just so stuck on like, no, I got my own business. The
That's
next thing is
Sorry,
that is that
hold that thought for a sec. That's so interesting because I feel like the coaching world and even Instagram, like the entrepreneurship, makes it sound so easy, and it's really not easy. Like, I love talking to people that are frothing on their business, where they're editing videos at 11 o'clock at night, not because I got to get a video out, because I love it. Like
yeah.
and I like and not honoring working hard, but the same people that tell you work 5 hours a day will probably get back to your text message at 8 o'clock at night. So it's like there is an inherent trait across business owners that's generally, I don't want to call it psychotic, but it's a not even a work ethic. It's not even a diligence. It's just like I like this. Like, I want to get back to Heath tonight. Like I want to do that. Like, I think if it's not for you, I think it's interesting. Or it might just be that you played a couple of bad hands in a row and you need to sort of tighten the ship up. And this is why I think if you're starting out, my best advice is to pay yourself a market wage, like what you could earn for someone else, pay your super, and pay your workers' comp, because that's going to highlight a base level that you've got to
Yeah.
hit. And then you
Be
want to be
legit.
hitting,
Yeah.
20% net on top of that. You can hit more when you're still on the tools because you get to keep such a larger portion of your income. But I think having like base level core understanding like that, you can be like, oh, well, that's I can't fall past the line's not zero, the line's 120 grand with super. You know what I mean? That's a
Yeah.
different mindset now. We're not trying to be like, we're breaking even, like zero. It's like, no, the break even is actually 150 grand. That's
Mm.
break even. And if that falls off this is why I'm a big advocate for close a week, close a month. Close a month we do with our in-house accountants, because in close a week we do ourselves, but you can never go longer than 4 weeks without a result in your face, like an actual result. So you can pivot, steer, adjust, chop, change, finesse. You can do all this
Mm.
kind of stuff on the way, not just after 18 months. So
Mm.
yeah, crazy. But I love that. I love that no limits. What's the next one you got for us?
Um, if you think running a business is going to be hard, times it by 10, and that's actually probably how hard it's going to be. Like, and if you don't love, like, I hear lots of people say, oh, I love the trade. I don't really like business. Like, I love business. I love it. Like, I'm so, like, loose screws in the head. And, like, what I would say to my dad, because he was like, don't start a business because, he managed a business and he just saw the stress and saw this and saw that. But like one of the biggest things I say to him and like other people is like, I feel like I'm very disconnected from money. Like I lose 50K, I'm like, oh, that sucks. What a massive lesson. This is going to be so good one day. Where like like if you don't have that optimism, I just feel like businesses is going to eat you. Like it's going to, and like, look, maybe one day it'll be too much for me and whatever. But right now, that's like a massive thing. I just feel like if you're not prepared to lose it and it all be on you, and then you can still turn around and blame yourself, not blame anyone else, and then still want to do it, then yeah, maybe business is for you. But yeah,
I often refer to it as toxic optimism.
yeah, it's
But
disgusting.
it's it's
It's
funny because
gross.
I even feel like with when I stepped down on my own, I'd probably have to get into it in another podcast, but there was certain things that made me step out on my own, and and then I did a year, and then I got Cam on board. Well, me and Cam did it together. Sorry, it's a better way to put it. Sparky coach, but I remember thinking, you kind of dumb it down how hard it is. I'd already done a business, like I'd already done it, and I'm doing it a lot better the second time, a lot more on the business time. But I remember sort of having to lie to myself about how much work it was. It's like, okay, I know it's gonna be, yeah, I'm just gonna wrangle it and just do it. But deep down it's gonna be like running a business, it's 5 to 7 years of full blown like and if you're not up for that, or you don't have a lot of capital behind you to pay someone else to be like that, then you might want to check yourself before you wreck yourself. But
You
I
wreck
think,
yourself,
but,
fool.
but I think deeper than that, I think if you're counting hours of on the business time and you're not doing it for the love of it, like I love hearing Tommy from Rylec talk, and he's like, oh, I had a new ground plan had to be set up and integrated into Fergus, so I just spent 3 days doing it. I locked myself in a room all weekend. I'm like, that's so cool. The fact that you can do one thing for 3 days or 2 days or 5 days or 2 hours and 1 hour, and you can be still reaping the benefits of that 2 years down the track, 3 years down the track, 5 years down the track, 10 years down the track. I think that's cool, but you got to wrangle it to some point. So yeah, I love that. What's on next on the Heath hit list?
Probably like as fast as I could remember, I hired people to do things for me. Like straight away. Like I literally opened my business and I like called an accountant. I'm like, oh, and I knew her, a family friend. She's like, nah, don't be a sole trader, be a company. I'm like, yeah, whatever you reckon. I'll just pay you the money. Like whatever your advice, I'll take it. Whatever. Cool. And then it's like as soon as like, my sister-in-law like He's been with me like I think maybe 3 or 4 years now. But like as soon as I was like, I don't want to answer emails and do insurances and I don't want to do that. I said, do you want to do that? And she's like, yeah, I'll do that. I said, okay, cool. Let's do that. Like it was never about like, oh, can I afford that? Can I do this? It was just like having the right people do the right job. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, not trying to do like, not trying to just like, go, oh, I'm gonna do admin, and then oh, I'm gonna do my own accounting, and oh, like I have people ask me I have business. Oh, so how do you avoid tax? I'm like, come on, man, my accountant. I'm an accountant. I don't know anything about it. Like they look after that. Like yourself, I hire or hire you essentially. Do you know what I mean? And say, okay, you teach me all of this, and then you are the one that shows me all of these things. Like I'm not gonna try and work this out myself, create my own spreadsheet, create my own beast made. Like I'm gonna get all the people I need so then I can just do my thing. Do you know what I mean? And then that's it. Like that's yeah. Get people who are good, like at doing their job, and then you'd it'd just be so much easier on yourself.
Yeah, that's so cool. I think when any business owner puts himself in the right seat, in the hot seat, in their skill set, like it's obvious. And I've always thought your skill set is, I think Instagram and socials in front of camera is awesome, but also in front of clients, in front of staff members, running a team, leadership, inspiration, um, positivity. That like people need to get behind good news, I feel.
Mm.
Like not you can the danger of bad news is and can those people that bond over consistent bad news, the danger is it's just it's eventually really toxic. Like it's very easy to bond with someone over either bad news or I remember this one guy. This like I don't want to name them, but
Shall remain
yeah, shall
famous.
remain nameless. But this one guy would there'd be like girls walk past the site and he's like putting his sunnies down and going, oh yeah, and he's like talking inappropriately. And I'm not like I don't like that. And
Nah, grow up, man.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, man, I'm not engaging in that conversation. And I remember he was really struggling to bond with anything that wasn't negative or sexual or degrading, in my opinion. And I was like, oh, cool, yeah. What about this over here? And I think you've got to work out how to bond with people over good and positive things. And I think you do that really well. So,
Yeah.
anything else you got on your heart to sort of share, say?
Probably once I get off, I'll probably have a million things.
Just pod regret. It's a real thing, actually. You
Yeah,
know,
100%.
we'll just get you
No,
on again,
yeah.
so don't stress.
No, yeah, I don't know. That's just like the biggest thing that's been on my brain lately is just like, and you can't knock people for it because like, well, they're starting a business, like you started a business, but I just feel like some people just hold on for too long, and it's just like, yeah, that's just yeah, personally, like that's what I see anyway. This isn't really advice, but that's yeah, those are my things that I've already said, like all of those things. But the biggest thing is just that, like, it's so hard to run a business, and then like you add in, oh, I've got a family, you got kids, like yeah, it's you just got to have a very you just got to have a bit of a knack for it. Hey, I don't really know. Like my dad said, sorry, rant. My dad said like at my wedding, he goes, oh. I told Heath, not to run a business. Like, mate, you've always been bad with money. You've always like, you've always been crazy. You always just randomly, oh, I'm just going to do this. And he goes, but from when he was a young chap, I'd say to him, oh, mate, he goes, Dad, I want to go to shops. And I'm like, and he goes, yeah, you can go to shops, mate. You just got to mow the lawn. You got to mow the lawn. Oh, yeah, yeah, sweet. And he goes, next minute, I'd hear the lawn getting mowed. I'd walk out the front, and he got all his mates mowing the lawn. And they'd be like, hey, you're meant to mow. And he goes, nah, but Dad, if they do it, it's quicker. And then we can go to the shops. And then I'd bribe my mates, say, look, if once you're done, we can go. You know what I mean? So I feel like you're just gonna, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if it's not, and same as like if you like run a business and it's just you, like that's fine. If you not comfortable with like running a team and like running, you know, things like that and dealing with personalities, then don't get apprentices or don't get tradies, whatever it is, because like being a Sparky, you can do that and you can get paid yourself. As soon as you grab a team, like your influence is on that person. And like my biggest thing is like I don't want to ruin any apprentices. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to guide all of them somewhere and one day when people go, oh, who'd you work for? Oh, Hspark. Oh, yeah, that's a good crew, eh? Like they come from a good crew. And I feel like there's too many people who like they don't know how to deal with personalities. They rip their apprentices. They destroy the apprentice. The apprentice goes, "Nah, I'm out of here. Like I don't want to do this trade." And then it kind of just brings everything down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I feel like a
Yeah,
lot of the stress business owners carry is, I just put it down to money, really, because if you had the money, you can employ someone. Like if you're making, we see the people making lots of money, and I'm like, you just pay someone this to go and do that. Like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Now I can get my 80 hours or 60 hours down to 40 or 30. Now I can get
yeah,
my 40 hours down to 20. Now I can get my 20 hours down to 6. Like if you're making money, it takes so much pressure off. And I think
yeah,
a
100%.
lot of the times I look at the times when I had snapped or said something out of line. I'm genuinely thankful that wasn't that many times, but it happens, right? It happens. But I remember just like it was either a stressful personal situation, it was I'd misquoted a job, I hadn't made the money I thought. It was usually something in and around money, to be honest. So it's
Yeah,
like, if you're making really good money, and you should be as a business owner, I think that's the parameters, right? If you're making really good money, then you can pay people really well. You can look after people, you can look after yourself, look after your family, you can buy some time back. You can't buy any time back when you're scratching the bottom of the barrel. For when you're scratching the peanut shells, it's too hard. So yeah, I think it just comes back down to me. I always wrap everything up with like it's got to be about the numbers, because if the numbers are right, good, and if they're not right, and kind of to sort of highlight what you said before, it's like if you do the same thing twice, expect a different result. It's the definition of insanity, right? So if you've been running a business for 5 years, 7 years, 3 years, 8 years, and you've seen the same traits, it usually is wrapped up in fear of success, fear of failure, fear of making money, ego, insecurity. It's usually wrapped up in like your personality comes out in your business, whether you like it or not. It's are you
mm,
self-depreciating? And I think it's finding out what the cap is and what the loop is and breaking the loop. And usually the loop is generational. It's like a generational, something that's been consistent trait in your family that you're meant to break. And I just encourage everyone to, if you're stuck in that loop, it's yes, either go back on wages or wrangle it into submission. Like go on a, just, it doesn't have to, you don't have to go on like a weekend or week, 2 week retreat to Bali and read Eat, Pray, Love. Although that would be positive, right? You can just,
may do
that
that.
sounds like a dream. But like you can, you have to make a change. And what is that change going to be, and who's going to bring it on, who's going to keep you accountable to that change. And I think that's the cool thing about business ownership. Like it reveals so much of yourself.
Yeah, yeah, you got to understand that when you run the business and you have boys that work for you like that, it's up to like that's one of the things I do love that I'm able to teach, like train just in general in life, like not even electrical, um, but just be able to like you've got to be that type of person that's able to like for me, it's like always, and it don't want to sound like corny, like building a family. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, well, it's not actually a family, it's all transactional, whatever. But it's like, why people do work for you, you need to like, yeah, like anything you can teach them along the way that you've learned in life in general. I'm always teaching Benny stuff. You should ask him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just things in life in general. He might be upset. Mate, why are you upset? You're good. Oh, this. And I might give him some sort of yada, 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 yada. And then an hour later he comes and he goes, oh, I thought about that. You're right, man. Like, thank you. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not my job to do that. But like, that's just me. And I feel like when you run a business, you kind of have to have that, like, you have to make sure you're on everyone's sort of like emotions and like understand people and know how to treat people and yeah, I just feel like that's a massive overlooked factor when there's like a boss. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And I think the coolest thing is you're in the service industry, so serve people. Let
Mm.
serve your clients, serve your staff members, serve the materials
Be
that are helping,
kind.
serve the
Don't be a
materials that are helping
dickhead.
marketing. Yeah, don't be a dickhead, be kind. You picked up the memo. So okay, so one shot, one opportunity to wrap the pot up. What do you got?
I've already said it. I already said it. Know your limits.
I swear I think that's actually a Tina Turner song. No, 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 no. Oh no,
I'm just thinking of that.
there's
I'm just thinking of that song, that push it to the limit I don't even know what song that is.
no. You're talking about Salt and Pepper. Push it.
Maybe.
That's what
Probably
you're.
not.
That's
Nah, I'm thinking of a rapper, like a gangster.
oh yeah, cool. It's not a song, but
Maybe like a Slim
there
Thug.
is no limit song. So thanks to Heath for joining us. What a lord.
Thank you, mate. I
Hey,
appreciate it.
don't hang up because I'll talk to you in a sec, and
Okay.
you have to stay on the line. But peace out to all the loyal listeners. We love you, and we'll see you soon.
Hspark Electrical. Like, follow, subscribe. Yo.
Yo yo. That's a wrap on another podcast. Whatever you're doing, don't be too busy to stop and check if you're making money. And above all else, you know the rules. Be kind. See you soon.